Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily. I am so happy that you're here with me today. Happy 2025. This is the very first video of the year with many, many more to come. I appreciate that you are here with me, and I wish each and every one of you a wonderful 2025. In today's video, I am going to show you how easy it is that I add tuck spots, pockets, side tucks into my junk journal pages. It has been a question that I've been asked over and over again. And since I'm currently working on Christmas journals, yes, you heard that right. I'm still working on Christmas junk journals. I got sick over the Christmas season, and so it's only been the last few days that I've felt well enough to finish those projects. And so I will work on Christmas projects well into the month of January and maybe even February, because I don't want to leave those projects pending. So you'll see a lot of Christmas projects in the next month or so to come. Okay, but in this particular video, I'm going to show you, like I mentioned, how easy it is to create tuck spots. And as easy as it may seem, I have had this question asked over and over again, and it makes sense as to why. How do I create pockets? How do I know what to use to create or to designate as a pocket? And I'm going to show you a few items that I have selected to incorporate into these journals to create these pockets and tuck spots. Super easy. I'm just going to show you a few things. I'm also going to add a few other embellishments into this one junk journal that I'm working on. This is the one that we are going to go through, and I've already completed it, but I'm going to show you how I added these florals to the front cover and also some of the embellishments that went into the pages. I'm not going to complete it 100% during this session. My focus is to show you how I add the pockets, but because I had all of the embellishments with me, I thought I would add some of those in the pages of this beautiful junk journal. And so it is gorgeous. It is a little golden book. I'm sure you are going to enjoy watching this. If you have any questions about this, please let me know down below. I will have the flip through of this plus 3 other little golden book junk journals that I'm almost complete with. I will have that linked up above as soon as it is done. As of right now, they are not fully completed, but I will have that soon, and I'll make sure to link that up above or in the description area below. But right now, let's open the book, and it won't look anything like this when I flip the camera over, but we're going to go through all of the pages, add some of these pockets, show you how easy it is to incorporate simple things like junk mail envelopes or note cards and add them and create side tucks and also pockets. All right, are you ready to get started? Let's go.
I've already set aside all of the junk journal embellishments, ephemera that I plan on using in this junk journal. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'm working on 4 of them, and what I do is I create little piles. And then as I'm going through my stash, I put all of the things that I'm going to use in each journal in its own separate box or bag, usually a box. This box is slightly small, so in hindsight, I should have probably used something a little bit larger. But I've recently started to declutter, and so I got rid of a lot of cardboard. Anyhow, and the most fun part is to go through my stash and start pulling things out that I know will look really nice in these junk journals. Things that I have made and set aside, and also vintage ephemera, things that I've picked up at thrift stores, maybe antique malls, things like that. A lot of things that I have previously stamped. And it's just a fun thing to do, to go through my stash and begin to select specific items for my junk journals. In this case, these are holiday and Christmas themed embellishments. And I create, because I'm working on the 4, I have created 4 little stacks of all of these things. And now these are only some of the things. The journal in this session is not 100% complete, but I will have that video like I mentioned earlier. I'll have that soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. knowing how I work, I guarantee you I'll probably end up adding many more embellishments to this journal. Okay, so this is the little golden book that I've decided to use. It is the Christmas story. And I've already prepared the signatures and the cover. If you would like to see how to make a cover with your little golden book, I will have that video link for you up above. And it'll also be in the description area below. If you open up the description area and scroll to the very bottom, you'll see all of the videos that I have referenced throughout this video. But it is really nice. I've already reinforced the inside. I'll add beautiful cardstock. And then I use a clear, it's a bookbinding Scotch tape on the inside and the outside of the cover. I add 2 signatures. That center page, I make a pocket from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and I just fold up the bottom. And I've done the same thing with the second signature, as you can see here. Both signatures, I like to add a nice gold foil, heavier cardstock as the cover page of each signature. It just adds more sturdiness to it, and I just love using gold foil cardstock. I'm also going to embellish the front cover, and I have these beautiful red glittered poinsettias, and I will do that at the end of the video. Here is one of my favorite journals. This one is almost completed. I want to show you what I plan on doing with those poinsettias, and then pointing out all of the other little things that I will be adding to the journal. You won't see the little dangle, me adding the dangle or even the beads to the center binding strings, but that'll be a nice surprise when I upload the flip through videos. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek of one journal that is almost complete. So I will be adding the book corners to this book, and I thought I would show you how I do that. I know the primary focus is on pockets and tuck spots, but because I have all of these elements out, I thought I would show you really quick my process for adding the book corners. Sometimes I say photo corners, but I really mean book corners. This adhesive, it's called the Ultimate Glue. It works well with metal. I add a tiny bit to the corners to help adhere the book corners in place. A little bit goes a long way. These are by Tim Holtz, and I give them a little bend on the little tabs on the back, and they bend somewhat easy. You do need a little bit of force, but not too much. But to complete it, then I will grab some small pliers and start pressing the little tabs on the back in place. It'll shift a little bit, but I position it and I continue to press it down to make sure that it firmly attaches to the corners. I'll do that to all 4 corners. I won't show you the entire process, but this is just to give you an idea of how easy it is to add photo corners to your books. And then I'm just making sure that it is positioned properly. I have this somewhat wet paper towel to kind of pick up the excess glue. And then here it is where I am folding the little tabs on the back of the photo corner and then putting it in place. And then again, I will take my little pliers and then finish crimping it in place. And it doesn't take a lot of force. These are pretty easy to work with. And I'm making sure I'm feeling on the opposite side to make sure that everything is evenly pressed down and that there aren't any of those metal edges that sometimes tend to kind of lift a little bit. So then I'll flip it and make sure on the inside cover that everything is flush with the cover. These photo corners, see how I said that? The book corners have pointy corners, but they are not sharp. And I'm just kind of showing you that here. So they are pointy, just not sharp. Okay, so this is the fun part. I will begin to kind of sift through all of these things and decide what I am going to use as pockets. And there are so many random pieces in here, but when it comes to adding pockets and tuck spots, you can use anything you like. Any one of these items can be turned into a pocket or a tuck spot. And so just quickly sifting through all of these things. This is one of my signature little house envelope pockets. I have been making these for several years now, and I've got a playlist showing you all the different styles of little house envelope pockets. I love including one in each of the journals that I make, and all I do is use one of these large paper clips and clip it to the very first page. It's a nice little welcoming when you first open up your junk journal. If you'd like to see how I make those, I will have a video linked up above for you, plus an entire playlist on how you can make your own little house envelope pocket. Here's that center page again, and you can see how I have folded up the bottom of a 12 by 12 paper to create a pocket. And I've done it with both. I'm going through all of the pages to kind of figure out and determine where I'm going to be adding the very first pockets. You see the branding there? I need to cover that up. And so I'm going to use some of the offcuts that were left over from the 12 by 12 scrapbooking pages or scrapbooking papers that I used to make pages. And these are a perfect offcut to use to create tuck spots and side tucks. So I'm going to choose one, and I'm going to trim it down to size so it perfectly covers the branding markings from this paper. So it needs to be about 2.5 inches wide, and the length of my pages is 8 inches. So I will trim that offcut down to size, and then I will glue it onto the page. I don't do any sewing, machine sewing or machine stitching in this junk journal. Everything can be adhered with glue. But if sewing is something you would like to do, it is a great option. You just have to know to do this before you bind your signatures together. Otherwise, it'll be impossible to try to run these through the sewing machine. So now I'm going to add glue to 3 sides of this beautiful cardstock, and just be careful and know where to position your glue and where you want your side tuck to be. So spreading that glue so I don't have globs of it. And now I will carefully position it so it covers up the paper marking or the brand marking. Making sure it's level with the page, and I'm just going to press it down so that it adheres properly. It doesn't take very long to dry, but I'm going to wait before I add anything to that pocket so it doesn't all glue together. So once it's all pressed down firmly, I'm going to go on to the next page and look to see if there's any more markings. I've got this one here. And instead of doing a full side tuck on this page, I will glue a different element to create a corner tuck. There are so many options. You can use so many different things. Some of these stamped cards would be great. Even greeting cards or note cards you can use as tuck spots. I can't remember what I'm using or what I plan on using as a pocket. Let's see what I decide to use. One of my favorite things to use, and I think that's what I'm reaching for, are these note cards. And I call them note cards because the name of this die is called the Note. It is an old Stampin' Up! Steel rule die that I use to die cut this shape. And these are perfect to use as tuck spots. All I do is add glue to two sides. Make sure you focus on which sides you're adding that glue, because I have made the mistake of adding glue to the wrong corners. And then my tuck spot is wonky. And then I have to go back and fix that. So just pay attention to the two sides that you're adding glue to. And now I'm pressing it down firmly. And I will wait for these to completely dry before I tuck anything into these pockets. I also go back off camera and I finish decorating the fronts of all of these tuck spots, especially these note cards that I've used. So set that aside. I'll continue to go through the pages and look to see where I want a pocket. You can add a pocket or a tuck spot to each and every page if you want to. And I go through these pages many times. I stand back, I come back, and even when it's all said and done, I'll flip through it again to see if it's missing a pocket or a tuck on any page. It all depends on you and where you want to position or place your pockets. I'm going to add one to the inside cover of this little golden book. I think this one is so pretty with that pink and red design on the inside. I love that this one has the red foil on the spine. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's a nice change from the gold spine, though I love the gold spine. But I've only ever worked on these with the red spine. I think I've only worked on just a handful of these. They don't come by very often. I have this little piece of ephemera, this little pocket. I've had this for a really, really long time. I kid you not, maybe 10 years or so, and I just didn't know what to do with them. So I went through my stash, I found it, and I thought it would make a great tuck spot. Adding glue to two of the sides. And because this is a heavier embellishment, I'm going to use some clothespins to hold it down until it completely dries. And like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't take a long time for this adhesive to dry, but I don't want it shifting. Therefore, I'm using these clips to hold it in place for a little while. I will continue to sift through all of the different elements. These are junk mail envelope pockets. I also have a playlist of how I alter junk mail envelopes. I'll have that for you linked up above. And I love reusing junk mail. I've used some of these scrapbooking paper offcuts to line the inside of these pockets, and then it shows nicely through the windows, and I embellish with a few little die cuts and stickers. And it's a perfect spot to hold recipe cards or tags into the pocket. I'm not going to glue it down completely. Again, I'm just going to add glue on two sides to create another tuck spot. You can adhere these to your pages however you like. You can also just paper clip it and use it as a floating pocket. But now I've got a tuck spot behind the junk mail envelope and also a pocket to hold a recipe card. A lot of these recipe cards and note papers that I use throughout my junk journals are items that I have found at thrift stores. So I'm always looking out for Christmas ephemera. And also holding it down with a few clips so it doesn't shift. This looks like a really good place to add another pocket. I'll talk about I'll talk more about that Merry Christmas pocket in just a moment. And now going through my note cards, determining which one coordinates best. And I really do love working with gold foil. And sometimes I have to remember to use other elements without the gold foil, but because it's my favorite, it's my go-to sometimes. And the gold foil looks so pretty, especially when working with little golden books. Adding gold foil or gold elements throughout the pages just adds more charm to these specific little golden books. Adding a few clips to keep it in place. And now I am going to work on the center paper. This was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I folded the bottom at 8 inches. And so now I have a 4-inch pocket just by folding up the 12 by 12 paper. Again, this is one where if you want to machine stitch, you just have to do it before you bind the signatures in, and then you can just run a machine stitch on either side. But I'm doing no machine stitching. I'm going to add some washi tape to seal the edges of the paper. I have left these open in the past, and then I usually will just keep it closed with a paper clip. But I decided to close it with this beautiful gold foil washi tape. And now I used a little bit of glue to make sure it is permanently attached to the pocket. Sometimes washi tape tends to have a very low tack and it'll lift. So I just added a little bit of glue to reinforce it. And now I'm going to add a little bit more glue on the opposite side to seal the edge. Washi tape is absolutely amazing, but so is masking tape. Any type of tape, even clear tape, can be used so many different ways in your junk journal pages, not only for sealing pockets, but also to create hinges and covering up boo-boos or mistakes. I've torn pages accidentally as I'm working with these, and so I will fix it with washi tape. So if you have washi tape, you can use it so many different ways. I will trim the excess at the bottom, make it nice and flush, and it looks so pretty. That gold foil, again, adds even more charm to these pages. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. I'm using a wet glue, but you can also use glue stick directly onto the washi tape if that's easier for you. I change my method. Every time that I'm working on something, I'll work on it a little bit different. And you know, there is more than one way to do something. As long as you get to the end result, there are so many different options, so many ways of doing things. And this is just one of the ways that I like to do it. And the glue that I'm using here is art glitter glue. It dries clear, it dries fast, and you only need a little bit. It's one of my other favorite glues. Folding it over, I'm trying to make sure that I don't get any glue on that gold foil. If you do get glue on the gold foil or on any pages, I'm going to show you a little tip on how to fix that, and I'll show you in just a moment. So trimming the bottom, making it flush. Take your time when working on these. Enjoy the process. sit back, admire your work. And now I can fill the pockets with all of this ephemera. These are corrugated cardboard tags that I made in the month of December. I'll have a video linked up above for you, but it was junky corrugated cardboard that was destined for the garbage, and I made a bunch of tags. And if you want to see how you can repurpose corrugated cardboard or cardboard boxes, I'll have that video linked for you up above. That cute little, it is that floral pocket. What is it made out of? I can't remember. Anyway, I want to add a postcard in there. And because I'm in Utah, I am adding a Utah postcard of Mount Timpanogos. In fact, I'm sitting here looking out the window at those very exact mountains. And they're beautiful. And they are covered in snow right now, so I thought that would be a perfect postcard for that pocket. I'm taking a couple of doilies to decorate the pockets even more. These are my favorite paper clips. I picked these up at Target, and you can find them at the Target store or even online. There's about 500 of these little gold paper clips, and they're fairly inexpensive, but 500, they go a long way. And they are my favorite paper clips to use. And that's just to keep those doilies in place. And then I will tuck, oh, look at this tag. These are so stinking cute. I found these at Home Goods last year during the Christmas season. And oh my gosh, they are so stinking cute. They're like 4 or 5 designs. And I'm going to add 2 of them to these journals, 1 in each of those center pockets. So stinking cute with the little cat design. And now I am moving on to other pages to see where I'm going to add more pockets. And you'll see a lot of flipping back and forth, because I want to spread these pockets out evenly throughout the pages. And I don't want to add a pocket to every single page. I want to leave a lot of the white space available for documenting, journaling, adding photographs, or even other ephemera. Okay, I wanted to talk about this one. This is a utensil pocket. It is for place settings. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby last year, and I thought they would make a perfect pocket or tuck spot. And these are normally used for place settings, so you can add your napkin and your utensils in the pocket and place it over your place setting. How perfect is that to use as a tuck spot? Use your imagination. There are so many different things that you can use as pockets. It is limitless. Is that the right term? Use anything that you have to create these tuck spots. So I thought that was a perfect little addition. I still have somewhat of a raspy voice and a slight lingering cough. So you'll notice my voice may change throughout this voiceover. Okay, so now I'm going to use the second junk mail envelope to add to the second signature. And so what I also like to do is that if I have more than one of these items, I'll sprinkle them evenly throughout each signature. So I used one of these junk mail pockets in the first signature and set this one aside for the second signature. Again, don't forget, I will have the video on how you can make these in the description area below. As I'm going through the pages, I begin to reuse some of the clothespins. As they begin to dry from the first pockets, then I begin to remove them and clip them on as I continue to glue these down. I still have a lot of ephemera to use throughout these pages. And this next one is going to be fun. I think I end up grabbing a CD pocket. Let's see what I reach for. Yes, a CD pocket. These were pockets that I picked up at the thrift store, and they're meant for CDs, but I am going to make a flip out pocket. I'm going to glue it down to this page, and not only am I going to have a pocket where the CD typically goes, but I'm also going to create a side tuck on the opposite side. I'm going to use a little bit of glue just above the fold line. You'll see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to position it in place, smooth that glue over, press it down, and now I've created a flip out pocket, but also a tuck spot. Notice I'm pointing out where I'm adding the glue. It is just a very thin bead of glue right at the edge of the paper, leaving the flap open to be used as a tuck spot. And I'll go back to that one and finish decorating it in just a moment. Now I'm going to add another tuck spot using one of these note cards. These note cards, I have used a heavier scrapbooking cardstock because I want them to be sturdy so that they can hold whatever you put into the tuck spot. I don't recommend die cutting pockets like this out of lightweight scrapbooking paper. If you do use something similar, use a heavier weight cardstock paper. I'm going to add a pocket to the inside back cover. Another great use for envelopes is making pockets. So I'm going to glue this vellum envelope to the back cover, but only on 3 sides. So not only will you have a pocket within the envelope, but I'm going to make a tuck spot right behind it. So I'm going to add glue to 3 sides. The ultimate glue works perfect on vellum. And so just 3 sides. When I place the envelope down, I want to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the cover as I close it. Does that make sense? So when I put it down, I want to make sure that it doesn't overlap the closing of the cover, that inside crease. And it's okay if it overlaps a little bit over that metal book corner, because this glue works on metal. It is the ultimate glue. It is non-toxic, water-soluble super glue, and it adheres to metal, paper, plastic, glass, and so many more, and it dries clear. Excuse me. So now I am pressing down on all 3 sides. I'm going to take some of these older or these other clothespins to hold down the vellum pocket, making sure that it adheres and it doesn't shift. But this is such a clever way to reuse an envelope. There are so many more ideas and things you can use as pockets, envelopes, cards, all kinds of things. It's so much fun. Once you start going through your stash, you can use anything as a pocket. I'm going back to the front cover, and I'm going to add 2 little tags to that little mason jar pocket. The red one was made by reusing cardboard from cardboard packaging, and the white tag I punched out or die cut from scrapbooking paper. I have pre-cut some of these eyelets, and I used a Tim Holtz die to create those little gold eyelets. I do have an Amazon storefront. I will link some of these items in the description area below if you'd like to see what products I used to create some of these embellishments. But if you have any questions about anything that I've used, please let me know in the comments section. And if you want a direct link, because you don't see it in the description area, I'm happy to send that to you directly, okay? Now that I've added the eyelets, I'm going to add some of my favorite eyelash trim. I also have this listed in the description area below, and it's also in my Amazon store. Adding a little bit of this gold eyelash trim adds so much flair to the pages, and it just looks so festive. These are watercolor cards that I have stamped, and this is an IOD stamp set. I've used archival waterproof ink so that these can be colored even more. These are vintage flashcards that I've added rub-on transfers to. Let me show you which ones I've used. They are by IOD, and I just love. They are kitschy Christmas transfers. They were released in 2024 by IOD, Iron Orchid Designs. And I love working with transfers, and I've just taken a little bit of it to embellish these beautiful vintage flashcards, and they fit perfectly into my signature little house envelope pockets. I have this large paper clip, so let's tuck something underneath that paper clip. And sometimes a good idea is to use a simple paper clip to create a tuck spot. I'm using one of these recipe cards that I picked up at a thrift store, and they happen to be gingerbread theme, and this beautiful gold foil to and from card that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Here is another watercolor card that I've stamped with a Stamping Bella image. Tuck it into that pocket. I know that by the time I'm done with these journals, they are going to be loaded. So many things are going to go into these pockets. You're going to love the flip through. I'm going to add this gold foil washi again to the center page of the second signature. I'm not going to show you the entire process. I'm going to just give you the look or the essence of finishing it. Oh, this is what I meant. If you get a little bit of glue on your gold foil, this gummy eraser works perfect to remove it. You just have to wait until the glue dries and then go back with that gummy eraser, go over it gently, and it lifts any extra adhesive that or unwanted adhesive that you may have on your papers, on any ephemera, and on that gold foil. It works like magic. And I'll have that linked in the description area for you as well. This is an old Christmas tag that I picked up at Dollar Tree about 4 or 5 years ago. I still had a couple left in my stash. I wish they would bring these back, but I haven't seen them since. And I'm just attaching that with a little gold paper clip. And now I'm going to decorate the pockets with the same beautiful doilies. I picked these up many, many years ago from an Etsy seller. Many years ago. I want to say about 10 years ago. So again, just decorating and attaching them with a paper clip. Adding another one of these super cute little kitten tags. I just love these so much. Adding a scripture card into the pocket that can also be used as a journaling card. I have these scrapbooking papers that I've cut down to about 4 by 6 to just kind of place into the pockets. This one is now dry. Remove the clothespins. And I'm going to add a few things to this envelope. Look at this beautiful invitation card. It is a vintage little Santa. I can't give you a year. There isn't a year on the back, but it is a vintage. It looks like it might be a mid-century, maybe something from the 50s and the 60s. It is so adorable, so I'm going to include that in the vellum pocket. And then tucked behind it is a place card. These are beautiful. I picked these up at a boutique in Salt Lake City. That boutique is called Knot and Spool. They specialize in ribbons, but they also have nice little paper goods during the holidays. And I'm going to place that in the back of the vellum pocket. It is so stinking cute. I will add one of these vintage replica greeting cards. I picked this up at an antique boutique here in a town called, in American Fork. It's called Renew Redo, and it's now turned into like a little vintage mall, and they have so many cute things. I'm also going to tuck in another one of these beautiful gold foil Dollar Tree gift tags. I have made these coin pockets using a Tim Holtz die. I have die cut a window and then used gold foil polka dot acetate to create a faux shaker pocket. I'm going to take some of this holiday confetti and drop it into the pocket. These are so cute. There are little Merry Christmas confettis, little Christmas trees, sequins, large circles, just random holiday confettis. I'm just going to pop them into the coin pocket. And this is how I make a faux shaker pocket. I am not going to seal it completely. I'm going to keep it closed with a paper clip and just clip it over one of the junk journal pages just at the top. But I'm going to set it aside for now and continue or finish decorating the CD pocket. I'm going to add a doily to the inside pocket. I've kind of trimmed a little bit off of the edges so it fits perfectly into the pocket. And now it looks like there is lace on the inside. I'm going to add this cute little Santa die cut. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to place it so that it shows through the window. I'm not gluing it down permanently, so it's kind of just going to float around in that pocket. I'm going to add these beautiful snowman stickers to the front of the CD pocket just to embellish it a little bit more. This is to give you ideas on how to further embellish your pages by using stickers. I have these snowflake stickers and I'll add those to the CD pocket as well. I love using stickers. I have so many stickers and it's a fun way to decorate the pages in my junk journals. It's also fun to be able to use stickers on white pages. It's the best way and the easiest way to decorate a white page. And that is done. Isn't that cute? I'm hoping my voice makes it through the end of the video. And now we have a pocket to be used so many different ways. So stinking cute. And this is the little flap that I will use as a tuck spot. I'm going to be careful not to place that bingo card, which I'm going to add to that flap. I'm not going to place it in there fully so that it doesn't accidentally glue to the flap. I don't think it's 100% dry yet. I have more of this Kitschy Christmas IOD transfer I'm going to add to the edge of this vintage bingo card. I made sure to select bingo cards that had the number 25 on them. I think it gives that bingo card much more meaning if we have the 25th on there, representing Christmas Day. And it transfers so easily, and it comes with this plastic little stick. That looks so pretty. And now you've turned a simple vintage bingo card into a Christmas bingo card. And you can use the back for journaling. You can glue pictures. This can be used so many different ways. And so that is how I will hold it on that flap, which I have made a side tuck spot. But being careful not to place it fully into that flap. I don't want it to attach itself to that flap. And now I'm going to find a spot for this little faux pocket. Okay, maybe not yet. I'm going to fill the contents of this little utensil pocket with some note paper card. And believe it or not, all of these note papers that you see on the left hand side, I have found at thrift stores. And this is a collection over many years. I'm going to take one of these red glittered poinsettia stickers and add it to the front of signature number 2. And to make sure that it adheres firmly, I'm going to add a little bit more glue to the back of the poinsettia. I don't mind using bulky items on my pages. And I don't mind alligator mouth and chunky junk journals. The more the better. The more the better is my motto for junk journals. And now I'm just going to add a few things to the pockets, making sure not to press everything down to the edges, just in case the glue is still somewhat wet. I don't want things to stick down completely, so I'm being careful with how I position these in the pockets, avoiding the corners for now. The fun part is once you've added all of your tuck spots and pockets, the best part, the most fun part, is going back and filling in all of those pockets. So I will add some things to the pockets, but I already know that I will go back and add even more things afterwards. So this is where I add my faux little shaker pocket. And I'm just going to attach it with a paper clip. To make the note cards or the note papers fit, I will just fold either the top or the bottom of these. And then I also like to paper clip them over pages, and I'll show you that in just a moment. I appreciate you being here. I know this is somewhat of a long video. Maybe I should have thought more carefully about the length of this video, especially with my voice wanting to go out. But I honestly didn't even think about that. And here I'm showing you how I just fold over the note paper at the top of the page and attach it with a paper clip. And I just fold it at the bottom so that it fits neatly behind this tuck spot. I go back and forth from front to end so many times before the journal is 100% complete, because if I feel that it is too plain, I will continue to add and add and add. And I wish you could feel the difference from the beginning to the end as far as weight is concerned. A little golden book is very lightweight. By the time I'm done, I feel like it weighs 5 pounds. You know, I should weigh it just to see what it weighs. The difference between the two. That'll be fun. I've done this many times where I accidentally paperclip 2 pages together. Even after I'm done, I like to call the very end quality control, because I'll catch so many things that I have accidentally done that I have to remedy or correct. And even then, after quality control, sometimes that quality control lady still misses a few things. Do you see how I will go back? Even when I think that I'm done adding pockets, I'll go back and add even more pockets. I hope that watching this helps you and gives you ideas or inspires you to create and decorate your own junk journals. Let me know if you worked on a little golden book junk journal for yourself or as a gift. They are so much fun to work with, and I have been very lucky to find most of the little golden books at thrift stores, and some of them are in really bad shape. But by adding a little bit of tape and glue, I can give these little worn books, older books, a second chance. Some of these are really old. I think most of the ones that I'm working on right now are from the 80s. There is so much going back and forth. I know I've said it so many times, but I don't get tired of flipping through the pages. And this is just what you see on the screen. Imagine how many more times I'm going to go through this little golden book off camera. If you are here for the first time, I'd love for you to subscribe. This is the type of content that I do, but I also love creating and repurposing junk, such as junk mail envelopes, corrugated cardboard, packaging. I love working with junk to create beautiful things. So if this is the first time you're here, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you that have been with me here on my YouTube journey. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Without you, I wouldn't be here. And it's now 2025. I am so excited. I've got so many different ideas coming for you this year. And I think I am ready to do a tour of my craft area. I'm actually sitting in my office right now, and I know you saw that at the beginning of the video. I still have all of my Christmas decorations up. I'll get to that when I get to that. But this is actually my office where I'm sitting. I'm hoping to be able to have a tour of my craft loft for you very soon. I know I've shown you sneak peeks of it in the shorts videos, so if you want to see that, I'll link that for you up above. Let's decorate the front cover. I'm going to take some of these sticker poinsettias. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby, but I'm always on the lookout for florals. Decorating the front covers of my junk journals is one of my favorite things to do, and I love adding dimension and embellishments to the front covers. I do it to most of the journals that I work on. I'm using my hot glue gun to attach these. I want these to dry fairly quick with a very strong adhesive, and so hot glue gun is perfect for this. Look at how beautiful those red poinsettias match with the red foil on the spine. So beautiful. I have this little tin container of random die cuts that I have cut out throughout the years. I should probably put these in a larger container because it's now overflowing. What I typically like to do is I dump the contents of the little tin box onto my craft table, and I sift through and choose different types of dies to use to further embellish and create beautiful little clusters. So I'm going to take some of these golden elements that I've already die cut to further embellish the poinsettias, and I'm just going to randomly tuck things in behind the poinsettias. These little golden leaves, and also this little golden candle die. Most of these come from Tim Holtz die cuts or dies. I'm cutting it down so it fits better tucked in behind the flowers. And I'll continue to just add more embellishments behind those flowers. It adds a really nice touch and even more detail to that front cover. And there you go. I finished the front cover. It looks so pretty, and I'm not even done. There's so much more to be done. So many dangles and beads and other things that I'm going to add. I'm going to give it one final flip through so that you can see everything that we have done here together. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment, even if it's just a heart emoji, letting me know that you enjoyed this video. And then if you really want to do something special, share my video with your family and friends. This way YouTube will recommend it to even more people. The more you engage with my videos, the more YouTube will share my video in the algorithm. And that's the best gift that you can give me. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me today. My voice made it. I'm surprised that I didn't lose my voice. I am almost 100% better. It's just my voice now, but oh my gosh, I do feel so much better now. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Because getting sick is no fun. I was sick from Christmas all the way after New Year's, and I am now focused on getting to 100% so that I can go back to doing all the things that I love. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for being here. Take care.